sick of working in this restaurant. That's all I do every day, slaving my ass away. So what I read on the internet tonight was that on a site called Nature Bats Last, that's at NBL, the National Basketball or Breast League or Boob League or Bundy League, the NBL, Nature Bats Last. So there was this article by physicists, you know, I think those guys are pretty smart. And what the physicist was saying was, aside from the fact that we're doomed as far as he sees it, he says, like, all the models that we're using about climate change and what we can do to prevent it are well, not that they're wrong, they're just inadequate, they're incomplete. I thought that was a pretty valid comment, so I read further, and his point is really, this is Eggplant Parmigiana, by the way, so, I mean, if apocalypse is tonight, at least I'm going to eat good. I mean, I know, I feel bad other people aren't eating good, but it doesn't make me feel bad enough to make me stop eating good. And, you know, if anybody comes over, I'll give them some Eggplant Parmigiana, but I'm not looking for anybody to come over. But on Christmas sometimes, I do give Eggplant Parmigiana to some people, along with $20. But anyway, so let me see if I have this straight, because I just read the article tonight. So his point is that we used throughout history, and he went back, and you know, he's a physicist, so all his work is mathematical, and mathematics is a pretty good way of creating models of the world. I mean, it's the most accurate, actually. So he has mathematical models that show that our consumption of energy, the human race's consumption of energy, has been consistent at about, like, we seem to, no matter like what we're doing, we're an energy using species, and we use energy at a certain ratio. He came up with a formula for how much energy we use, and it seems to be constant. So you think constant, like, okay, if there's 100 people or 1 billion people, and he's, yes, and he's got a point, and no one's really paying attention to him. And so the point is, like, energy conservation or energy efficiency is not going to help the situation any in terms of global warming, because all that it'll do is it'll allow us to produce more. As he sees it, the problem is that we're making things. We're a species that just constantly makes, like, things. People like to have things. I mean, I think this cheese is pretty good. I think this tomato's pretty good. But these things are well, edible, organic, you know, necessary for survival. Eggplant Parmigiana is necessary for survival. But gadgets aren't. And okay, a car is necessary for survival, but you can create a car for like $1,000. But we also have cars that cost astronomically more. So we're not going to change. I mean, human nature is human nature. So we're going to keep producing this shit. We're going to, my stuff and your shit, you know? That old George Carlin routine. We're going to still be producing this stuff. So the point is that the fluorescent lights, remove the ink, recycle, switch to solar. It's not going to make a difference unless we change who we are, and that's just not going to happen. The species is really hardwired to be, we like trinkets, we like building things, we like making things, we like collecting things, and we are hierarchical, you know? No matter how hard we try, we can only work in maybe small bands, less than 100, I think, or maybe 200, small, but eventually small bands become big bands. That's what happened throughout history. And once you're a big band, it becomes hierarchical. There's a boss, there's a pecking order. It just develops naturally. Oh well, So tonight we have the eggplant Parmigiana. I gotta recommend. So go to that website. Go to that Nature Bats Last. Interesting articles. That's what we're still batting for a while. And you know what? It says a lot about how our destiny is tied to the time and place we're born in. I mean, I was born in 1948, Queens, beginning of the baby boomer, materialistic prosperity, apex of the industrial civilization, just beginning to shift over to the industrial technological civilization that we're living in now. I mean, the technology is still heavily dependent on industry, is still interrelated. It's not a pure, except for the very wealthy, it's not a pure electronic or technological culture. It's contaminated. The wealthier you are, the more you can avoid that contamination, and that's of course what, Occupy Wall Street try to change, but a lot. All right. Eggplant Parmigiana. See you later. I'll check into the name of that website. Oh, I already did. I mean the URL. The URL.